Hi everybody, welcome to beautiful Point Reyes, California, where I just went on a hike in February with my buddy Tom. So a couple weeks back I went out street evangelizing with a group called St. Paul's Street Evangelization. And most of it was kind of weird. I was just like offering people rosaries and waiting to see if they would react to it. It's hella awkward most of the time, but then a couple times somebody would come up and say like, oh, I know that's a rosary, and I would give it to them. I would ask every person I talked to like, can I pray for you? And people would really tell me what they needed to be prayed for, and I would offer to pray for it right then. And people were moved. People were grateful. I'm Steve the Missionary, and I think you're going about evangelization all wrong.
Oh yeah!
When people think about evangelization, whether in like a Protestant or in a Catholic context, they think about it in a weird way, like we're trying to get more people on our team, like we're trying to get more pledges for our fraternity. That's not it at all. When I talk to people about Jesus, I don't do it out of team loyalty for the Catholic Church. And if that's the reason you do it, then you really need to rethink your motives. I do believe in the Catholic Church and they have the fullness of truth and all that stuff, but I'm not doing it just because I would like my team to be bigger than your team. So I gotta find some other reason to do it. This reminds me of a church nearby, St. Augustine's, and what they used to do. There used to be a street fair in front of St. Augustine's church like every October. And because this street fair was right there and it was always near St. Francis Day, they would always buy a booth. The priest would just stand there and say like, hey, it's St. Francis Day, let me bless your pets. And that's really all it took. And people would show up with their pets and they would have the priest, the Catholic priest, blessing the pet. They were now able to see the church not as something that was trying to convince them, but as something that gave them something. In this context, evangelization became generosity. We don't evangelize just to get more people on our team. We want them on our team because our team is going to heaven. But we evangelize so that we can be generous to other people. This, I think, is what Pope Francis is all about. We're talking about the guy that wrote Evangelii Gaudium, the literal handbook on evangelizing in the 21st century. It was riddled with all this stuff about why Christians need to make more Christians. But it was also riddled with all this stuff about justice and charity, and like nobody could understand it. Everybody was like completely weirded out by it. But here's the thing, the church is meant to be generous. And it's generous in two ways. By evangelizing, it's generosity. And it's generous by doing all these works of mercy. We live in a very troubled world. We do these works of mercy because people are at risk of dying. We evangelize because people are at risk of going to hell. These are two very urgent, very immediate needs, both of them. So if you start to feel the call to evangelize in your faith, don't think of it as I'm feeling the call to convince someone of something or to sell someone something. Think of it as I am being called to be generous in a different way than I'm used to. Imagine if we were the church that was known as giving people prayer, giving people blessing, giving people mercy, giving people the physical needs in their life, giving people love. I'm Steve the Missionary. California is the best state in the union, and I'll see you next time. And it was hella awkward. I used hella, guys.